So hello. I'm hoping it's late at night, but it's pretty late, but I want to talk about some audience and traffic trends that are really obsessing me. And I'm really hoping that you, like me, love numbers, because we're going to talk a bit about numbers. And I have to apologize in advance, because I work at The Guardian, I have access to a lot of Guardian data, so as a result, there's going to be a lot of Guardian stuff in here. But rest assured, this isn't a Guardian presentation. What I want to talk about are some themes that are really obsessing me. There are three themes that really I spent a lot of time noodling about. And I also think these themes, these numbers, really illustrate how our newsrooms are changing. We can palpably feel how the data's changing. So what's the first theme? The first theme I want to touch upon is the long tail. Now, I've long been obsessed about the long tail. And in fact, I did some work with Emily Bell about 4 years ago about the long tail. Why am I obsessed about the long tail? Well, the long tail, we're in the long tail business. But the issue is, how do we know if we've got a good long tail? I expect many of you, your long tail looks a bit like this. It's very shallow, which means most of your content, most of the time, is not seen by most of your users. It also raises issues about perception. Let's take this chap. The Guardian in the US is become pretty well known thanks to this chap. But what's happened is that we have a very broad range of content outside Snowden. But the long tail illustrates that you can end up being identified with a very, very narrow range of content. I want to pause on this for a second. These are some really nerdy shots from our real-time data system. This shows audience to a story about a new store with its TV campaign. The dark blue is Facebook, green Google, light blue is Twitter. This shows that the story really was driven here by Facebook traffic. Now, what's interesting is when we look at this data, look at these stories, each audience cadence from each story is very different. Here is a story from just a few days before, another store, another TV, Christmas TV campaign, but the shape is different, the colors are different. This is very green. This shows that the story here was driven by Google. Another one, carbon negotiations, looks again completely different from the ones we've seen before. So looking at this granular data, for the very first time we can really start unpacking what's driving the audience and better understand how we amplify our content to different audiences and platforms. And when we do that, what happens? The long tail shifts up. It becomes less shallow. We get better at showing our content to more people more of the time, and also how we have a broader offering. That's a good thing. Second theme, a cat for Jeff. Engagement. We're doing a lot of work, as you all are, around time and attention. And time is a rare unit of scarcity on the web. A minute spent on one side is a minute spent on another. But we have to stop thinking about data just on our own site. Off-platform has become really important. In any week, 33 million people come to the Guardian website, but 40, 50 million uniques see Guardian content on Facebook. I don't expect you to read this. This is information from Newswhip. I'm really intrigued about off-platform engagement. What you're seeing is traditional players who have very strong engagement figures on their own sites are not replicating that success when you look off-platform. It's fascinating. A new leaderboard is beginning to emerge. At The Guardian, our pages per visit, traditional engagement methods or metrics are kind of middle of the pack, but they're changing. That's no longer the case. But who's hungry for this information? I think it's fascinating about these off-platform engagement metrics, but we don't really know the value of them, particularly our commercial teams. But what is very clear, our head and heart says it's important. The third thing I want to talk about is beyond engagement, is around loyalty. I think loyalty is going to be a huge metric that we have to get our heads around very, very quickly. So I'm very excited because in the last year, when we look at Guardian growth, it's been fueled by loyalty, more people coming back more often. This is really, really important. Great digital companies like Airbnb have all realized this very, very quickly. They realize, and we've got to realize, that loyalty is driven by human connection to experiences, relevance, mission, and purpose. We've got to get better at this, but we have to do it quickly because loyalty does not change overnight. Final slide. By goodness me, loyalty is a huge opportunity for us all. If you think news plays an incredibly important role in the daily role of everybody's lives, in the daily sort of rhythm of their lives. But look at this. we're not that good at loyalty, and there's lots of opportunity for us to improve. Phew, we're there.